Good afternoon students. Today we are going to study the integumentary system of fin fish. Now let us begin with the integumentary system. There are different layers in the integumentary system. The first layer, this upper layer is nothing but a cuticle. First layer is cuticle, which is formed from the secretion of this cell, that is goblet cell, and the slough of epidermal cells. Slough of epidermal cells and mucus form a cuticle over the epidermis. The second layer is epidermis. And later there is a layer which is called as dermis, and below dermis there is hypodermis. Now what is the function of this layer, cuticular layer? Actually the casting, periodic casting of this cuticle, sloughing of this cuticle, sloughing of these cells, epidermal cells, squamous epithelial cells along with the mucus will serve as a non-specific immune system for pathogens. When these cells along with mucus sloughed off from the epidermis, the microbes get lesser chance to establish themselves on the epidermis. There are certain chemical substances that are present in the cuticle such as lysozymes. These lysozymes are having anti-pathogen activity, and they also contribute in non-specific immune response of these epidermis against the microbes. Even then, periodic casting as well as presence of these chemical substances, some of the microbes established themselves on this layer. But when an environmental microbial load is increased, the fish may succumb to disease, since there is a limitation for this layer, non-specific immune response against the microbes. Then the next layer is epidermis. Now the basic unit of this layer is the Malpighian cell. Which is the same basic unit for the mammals. But there are differences between the mammalian epidermis and fish epidermis. There are two basic differences. First one is the presence of keratin. Presence of keratin layer in mammals, which is absent in fishes. Second thing is that in fishes, all these cells have maintained their property of mitosis. It means each layer of this epidermis have a capacity to divide itself. These are the two basic differences. Again, third difference is that presence of some special cells. What are they? Now look at this clear structure, third number. This is nothing but the club cell. Other name of the club cell is alarm cell. What is the function of this cell? This cell secretes some alarming substance. Especially in case of cyprinids, the cell secretes the alarm substance, which is helpful for the fright reaction by the fishes. In other fishes also these kind of cells are present, but the secretion of alarm substance is especially reported in cyprinid fishes. Then the other cell, like this one, a single cell gland, that is goblet cell, is also present in the epidermis and will secrete a glycoprotein, a mucus, which will form a cuticle along with the slough of epithelial cells. Now, as far as the layer or the number of epithelial cells present in the epidermis, they may vary from 4 to 20 depending upon the species. Suppose, for example, carps were having a scales for their protection. In carps, the epidermal cell layer is 4 cell thick, but in case of catfishes, scales are absent. Therefore, the epidermal cell layer is more than 4 cell layer. Epidermal cell layer is much more thicker in catfishes, right? Now, we are looking the special cells present in the epidermis. There are certain cells such as macrophages, leukocytes are also present in the epidermis. Now, the next layer, that is dermis. Now, these dermis comprises of 2 layers. One is the stratum spongiosum. This layer, first layer, is stratum spongiosum. Second layer is stratum compactum, right? This stratum spongiosum layer comprises of loose network of collagen and reticulin fibers. There are different cells that are present in this stratum spongiosum are mast cells, chromatophore cells, cells associated with the scale pockets, and scale pockets are also present in the stratum spongiosum. Now, these chromatophores are of different types. These chromatophores are of different types. These are erythrophores, responsible for red color of the fish skin. Second is the leucophore. Responsible for white color. Then iridophores, responsible for silver color. Then xanthophores. Gives yellow color to the skin. Now, look at this layer, which is very much dense. This is nothing but the stratum compactum. This stratum compactum comprises of a dense network of collagen and reticulin fibers. This is the layer which actually gives the strength to the skin of the fish. Now, if you look at these cells, what is the purpose of these cells? You know, fish is having a property to adjust its skin color with that of the environment, right? Now, reflection and absorption of light by these chromatophores, will give the fish a property of adjustment of its skin color with that of the environment. Whenever fish is infected or under stress, there might be a chance or always a possibility that fish get hyperpigmented, or a darkening of a fish skin can be observed in stressful condition or when a fish is attacked by the pathogen because of these chromatophores. One of the important chromatophore is melanophore. Giving black or brown. Black or brown color to the skin of the fish. Now look at this layer. This layer, that is hypodermis. This layer comprises of adipose tissue, and it is a very loose layer, highly vascularized as compared to the stratum compactum. The importance of this layer is that many of the infectious processes will develop in this layer, that is hypodermis. We are going to study the respiratory system of fin fish. The respiratory organ of fish is gills. There are 4 pairs of gill, 4 on each side of the body of a fish, covered by operculum, right? These are the gills of the fish. Now this structure is the gill raker, and this one is the gill arch. This is the diagram of gill arch. Now each gill arch is divided into 2 hemibranch, and this gill arch is called as hollow branch. One arch is called as hollow branch. And one hollow branch is having, like this one, 2 hemibranch. This is the hemibranch. Now each hemibranch is again having primary lamellae. Now these primary lamellae, their surface area is increased by dorsal and ventral secondary lamellae. If we look at the diagram of the gill arch, we will find this one is these are the branchial arteries. The first one is the branchial arch. Now the 4th number, it is showing the hemibranch. 4th number is showing the hemibranch. Each hemibranch consists of different primary lamellae. This one is the primary lamella. This one is the primary lamella. Now these structures are the secondary lamellae that are present on the primary lamellae. Now the functional unit of this gill is the secondary lamella. It means that the actual respiration site is the secondary lamella. Actual respiration site is the secondary lamella, where the diffusion of oxygen takes place from water to the blood of the fish. Now let us see the secondary lamella structure, histological structure of secondary lamella. Now this secondary lamella consists of a pillar-like structure which is formed by the epithelial cell. Usually a single layer of epithelial cell form this secondary lamellar tube. Now these 2 lines of epithelial cells is held together by a pillar cell. This one is the pillar cell. These lines of epithelial cells is held together by a pillar cell, right? Now this structure having bigger nucleus, these are nothing but the RBCs. Now the distance between these 2 epithelial cells or a tube line is such that only one RBC is there in between these 2 epithelial cells, right? Now this structure, look at these structures. These are nothing but the chloride cells, salt cells. These are responsible for the osmoregulation in fish. One of the structure present at the base of secondary lamella is the chloride cells. Now in primary lamella, at the base of primary lamella there are different cells such as eosinophilic granule cells, mucus cells, macrophages, sometimes lymphocytes are also present at the base of primary lamella. But these are the additional cells which are actually protecting cells of the gill structure. Thank you.